This session will deal with using Nexis Uni to find laws and statutes. If I'm looking for laws and statutes under Nexis Uni, I want to go to the Legal tab and to Statutes and Legislation. And I'm going to put in my term domestic violence. And notice it says it pulled up 10,000 plus. If I ran this search in Thomson Reuters Westlaw and there were 20,000, it would just look at those first 10,000. In Nexis Uni, it actually does look at the complete set. So if there are 20 or 30,000 under domestic violence, it's looking at all of those. And so then I can apply various limiters over here. And notice when I look at U.S. federal, there's 16,000 under that limiter alone. Another way I can limit is by practice area. And if I go to criminal law and procedure, notice I've got some narrower terms I could use there as well. If I wanted to search by topic, I can go to the source name. And here I see United States Code Service. If I click more, sometimes it will be lower on the list because of how many items it pulls up, but then it would show. And the United States Code Service is the organization of the United States laws that are in effect by 54 large and broad topics. In addition to the actual laws that are in the United States Code, the Code Service from Nexis Uni adds additional information, including cases, history, laws, and notes of decision. I could go up here and instead of clicking on relevancy, I could tell it to do document title. Notice it's organizing by the particular titles or those 54 subject headings I mentioned. If you know the popular name of the law, another way you can search is to go back to Nexis Uni and go back to sources. And if I do United States Code Service popular name, and I go to the popular names table, I need to actually click on this add all these as search filters to limit to that particular title. And notice there it is. And so if I put in Megan's Law, and run the search, there I will find the actual law itself. And notice as I look down, it says this act may be cited as Megan's Law. If I go back to Nexis Uni, and I know the citation of a statute, I can put that in. And search, and there it pulls up the statute. Notice off to the side on the right it says shepherdize this document. That's how you can determine the validity of this particular law, whether it still would be valuable to use in court. Another way I can search is I can go back to Nexis Uni, and if I do my sources, and I type in United States Code, Service. Notice it pulled up 2 items, one of which is an index. So if I tell it to go to the index, I have to add that as a search feature. And then if I type in my term of domestic violence, notice it gives it a little code here, and if I click on it, this will show me all the different areas where domestic violence is mentioned in the code. So if I go down here to legal assistance for victims, this is the section of the code that I would want to go to. This is the citation. And there I can find my information. Notice as we go down, it gives me the history of that particular law, and it tells me the history of it. If I go back to the top and I click on Nexis Uni again, I can do the same thing with the Missouri law. So if I type in Missouri Revised Statutes, and a section, this will give me the information from the Missouri Revised Statutes.